So this is my current desk setup, and I'm pretty happy with it. But for this video, I wanted to try something a little bit different. With tastefulness and subtlety well and truly thrown out the window, I've replaced my desk setup with a whole range of colourful peripherals. So I got in touch with Corsair and asked if they wanted to help me kit out a cool new looking desk. But the benefit of sticking with just one brand, whether it's Corsair or Cooler Master or Logitech, whoever you like, is you can then use their respective desktop apps to customize and sync all the lighting together. So I played around with the Corsair utility engine, trying out a bunch of different effects, until I finally settled on a random color shift pattern with the lighting link option enabled. So basically it goes through a full RGB spectrum, but all the products are synced up, from the headphone stand to the mouse mat. And I have to say, it actually looks pretty good. So in this setup, I've got the Corsair K95 Platinum mechanical keyboard, the Glaive RGB Gaming mouse. Glaive, whenever I say it, it just makes me think of this.
Glaive.
And then of course, we've got the MM800C RGB Polaris mouse mat from Corsair. And if you thought this couldn't get any more excessive, we've got the Corsair Void Pro RGB headphones on top of the ST100 Corsair RGB headphone stand. All in for these peripherals, you're looking at about 400 quid or $500, which is a lot of money, but these are premium gaming peripherals in their own right. But to be fair, yes, you could probably save 100 quid or so if you gave the RGB mouse mat and maybe the RGB headphone stand a miss. They're definitely luxuries rather than necessities. I've also paired my Corsair peripherals with a couple of smart Philips Hue lights. This is the Philips Hugo bulb, which I keep on my desk. I replaced a Orchid lamp I had because this is basically infinitely customizable, whether through the app or pressing the button, and that way you can keep your lighting theme a bit more consistent throughout. And if that wasn't enough, the ultra-wide monitor I'm using here, the Asus PG348Q, projects its little Republic of Gamers logo onto my desk here, so while that doesn't sync up with any of this, it's an extra lighting option you've got. So I may have gone a bit RGB mad, but I'm pretty happy with this setup. I think it looks good, and I've been using it like this for a few days now. But there's a couple of things I'd like to share with you that I've noticed while using these peripherals. Starting with the mouse mat, which I have to say I do really like. The soft touch material is really nice and smooth, but the problem is when I then use the Glaive, the Glaive mouse with this, you can see the cable gets a bit caught around this little notch hub at the top, which is not ideal, and I think Logitech have a better solution with their G903 mouse, which actually charges on their PowerPlay mouse mats, so you don't get any of that bungeeing and cable issues. But the Glaive mouse is really comfortable to use. It's got smooth tracking, 5 different DPI settings, 3-zone RGB lighting, which looks really good, and generally it's a really nice mouse to use. Although there isn't any weight adjustment, and you've only got 2 buttons on the side, so it's not really that customizable and not ideal for pro gamers. I have to say though, I think my favorite peripheral out of all of these is the keyboard. The K95 is awesome. The Cherry MX mechanical keys are really responsive, and as you expect, really loud. It's also got 6 macro keys, which is handy for customizable macros, obviously. Full-size numpad, volume media controls, a nice lighting strip at the top, fully backlit, really impressive keyboard. The biggest issue though is probably the price at around 160 odd quid, which is a lot of money, but this is a premium mechanical gaming keyboard. But what about the headphones? Well, these Corsair Void Pro wireless headphones actually sound really good. Audio quality is very impressive. And in the Corsair utility software, you can customize EQs and even enable the Dolby 7.1 surround sound, virtual surround sound, which is really good for gaming. They're really comfortable as well, but I do find that the cups are a little loose around the ear, the bottom of the ear. They're still comfortable to wear, but it feels like a bit more of a tighter grip here would have been nice. And they fall off fairly easily as well, but it's not too bad. The best bit though is the price. For around 80 quid, they are quite good value for money, and they do sound great. But when I'm finished gaming, what am I going to do with these? Like just chuck them on the floor maybe, hang them here, you know, getting in the way of everything. I don't know how we coped before. Headphone stands, which... And this ST100 headphone stand, which will cost you about 50 to 60 quid, quite a lot of money, but actually it's a really, really well made bit of kit. Full metal body, nice black color, lighting strip on the bottom, and a USB 3 port here, which is really convenient for then charging the headphones with the bundled USB connector. That's the word I'm looking for. Now, obviously, all this RGB lighting doesn't have any impact or effect on your gaming performance. It's purely for aesthetics, for looks. It's essentially the equivalent of go faster stripes on your car. But while personally I would prefer a cleaner, more minimalist setup with as few cables as possible, I also really do get the appeal of this, especially when it's dark and you're in gaming mode and it looks really, really awesome. And having all these lighting options means you can have consistent lighting, a consistent theme across your entire setup. The biggest downside for me, though, is cables, and I'm sure a few cable ties and some basic cable management, which clearly I've not really put much effort into here, would make it look a bit better. But as I say, I prefer a clean look, and when you've got cables for the headphone stand, the headphones, the keyboard, the mouse, mouse pad, that's a lot of USB cables going into the back of my PC, and so it does look a bit of a mess. So that's my only real issue with it. So I've gone completely RGB mad, as you can see. A big thanks to Corsair for sending all this out, and I'm looking forward to just playing with it a bit more and tweaking it. I might bring back some of my old stuff, I might do a bit of a halfway house, I'm not quite sure yet. But the big question is, can you have too much RGB? I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, click that like and subscribe button also below, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat. Thanks for watching, guys.